Let's understand about sensory perception and processing. A sensory system is a part of nervous system that makes an organism to detect, transmit and interpret information from both its external environment, for example, lighter sound, and its internal environment, for example, body temperature or muscle stretch. In sensory system, we are going to find first sensory receptors, second neural pathways, third certain parts of brains involved in sensory perception. Let us see the stages how we experience a sensation. First, sensory perception or sensory receptors. These are the nerve endings which detect the stimuli. For example, light sensitive cells in your eye and pressure receptors in your skin. Neural pathways, this is the second one. These are the these are carrying the electrical signals generated by the receptors from the body up to the brain. Third, parts of the brain involved in a sensory perception. It includes areas like the thalamus. Here, thalamus is the relay center and sensory cortexes. These are the areas of brain where raw signals finally interpret as a conscious experience. Example, I see a red apple. Here, organ responsible for traditional senses are smell, we smell things by our nose, taste, we taste by our tongue, hearing, we hear by our ears, sight, see object by eyes. The sense receptors on the tongue and within the nasal cavity work very closely together to give us our sense of taste. The perception we call flavor is not just taste. Example, sweet, sour, salty, bitter, umami, which are detected by the tongue. It's just a combination of taste and olfaction, nothing but a smell. When you chew food, odor molecules travel from your mouth up to your nasal cavity where they are detected by the olfactory receptors. The brain combines this smell information with the taste information from the tongue to the from the tongue to create a complex sense of flavor. This is the reason why food seems bland when you have stuffy nose. The receptors for taste and smell. These are the five kinds of receptors on the tongue and within the nasal cavity work very closely together to give us our sense of taste. The five kinds on the tongue. The five kinds on the tongue tips most likely refers to the five basic tastes recognized by the tongue: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, which are detected by the specialized receptors on the taste buds. The receptors which are present in the nasal are called olfactory receptors. These olfactory receptors detect thousands of taste buds. Receptors in the nasal cavity are called olfactory receptors, and these olfactory receptors detect thousands of different volatile chemical compounds, not just five kind. Our tongue detects five basic tastes and nose detects thousands of different odors which are combined to create flavors. In our sense system or in our sensory system, taste and smell are grouped together as chemical sense because the receptors are because The receptors are triggered by the chemical molecules. Olfactory system consists of olfactory epithelium, which is present in the nasal cavity, that contains the millions of olfactory receptor cells. These cells are neurons that extend directly into the nasal cavity by making them structurally similar to gustatory, gustatory, gustatory receptor cells.